What I'd like to share with you today are 11 books that I found are able to shift your consciousness and change your life. Now, there's many books about consciousness, spirituality, the nature of reality, the new paradigm, and holistic health that both elevate and deepen your relationship with yourself and the source field. But I wanted to just focus on 11 of them in this video. So on the path of awakened awareness, we don't feel like we have to go at it alone or reinvent the wheel. There's already many helpful resources available to us, especially today in this information age that we live in. And these resources allow us to access a compendium of knowledge and wisdom from the source field in the form of literary transmissions. So let's go through 11 of these, and you can look in the description of this video for links to all these books if you feel called to get one or any of them. The first book is Be Here Now by Ram Dass. Be Here Now is a classic. Each page looks like a work of art and definitely different from the way a traditional book looks like. It keeps you captivated and really feeling into the experience of living a more present life. The book follows Richard Alpert through his journey out of the hyper-materialistic culture of the West to the spiritually respectful culture of the East. And after discovering the psychedelics psilocybin and LSD, he experienced profound boundary dissolution and embarked on the path of self-realization to India. Once he was there, he met his guru and was renamed Baba Ram Dass. It was there that he was introduced to the spiritual practices of meditation, hatha yoga, and Eastern philosophy and metaphysics. Now, this book is a must-have for anyone that wants to develop a deeper relationship with their true self, loves poetic descriptions of the awakening process, and is looking for practical advice on how to live a yogic life. The second book is Sacred Sounds, Magic and Healing Through Words and Music by Ted Andrews. If you've ever heard of cymatics, you already know that sound creates form. In Hinduism, Om is perceived as being the creative sound of the universe. In Christianity, the word is said to have been how everything came into existence. And essentially, in every human culture where there was a spiritual philosophy, sound was considered the tether connecting humans with the divine. In esoteric schools and orders, students and neophytes were taught the power of sound and how to use it for creating, manipulating reality, and healing. In this book, you can learn how to tap into the magical aspects of sound and the incredible healing nature of toning. Beyond toning, you can discover how to shift into higher states of consciousness using sound. You'll also be able to become more creative and enhance your intuition. If you feel like you have an energetic block, then this book will teach you how, with the power of techniques such as directed esoteric toning, to dissolve blocks easily and effectively. The third book is called The Five Tibetans, 5 Dynamic Exercises for Health, Energy, and Personal Power by Christopher Killam. The Tibetan rites were one of the first yogic exercises I ever practiced, and I make the effort to keep them integrated in my life to this day because of how powerful and effective they are. They're 5 simple yet profoundly effective movements that have been said to be the fountain of youth and are easy to incorporate into a daily practice you may already have. They don't take that long. Maybe you'll spend 15 minutes tops doing them. With the proclaimed age of about 2,500 years, these Tibetan rites were brought to the West in 1939 by a man named Peter Kelder in his book The Eye of Revelation. He learned about them from a retired British colonel who had gone to a remote monastery in the Himalayas after he kept hearing stories of lamas who became surprisingly strong, young-looking, and full of vigor after doing the so-called rites. The colonel learned about 7 psychic vortices that, as we age, start to spin slower, which leads to worse health. The spin rate of the vortices can be restored by practicing the 5 rites on a daily basis. You can do each one of these exercises up to 21 times for a total of the magical number of 108. However, starting off, you'll probably want to ease into it and just do as many as you feel comfortable with. But once you're able to, doing each exercise 21 times will give you the greatest benefits that you can achieve from these rites. This book by Chris, published in the early 90s, helped the world rediscover the Tibetan rites, and it's a great guide to making them part of your daily life. The 4th book is The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. We perceive the world as being a solid thing that is incredibly difficult to change with ease because of how dense it is. However, there is an incredible amount of evidence today that supports the idea that the universe is a holographic projection out of some primary reality. With this come the possibilities of playing with reality in ways that we thought were only possible in the realm of fantasy. And while this book came out back in 1992, the esteemed physicist David Bohm, a former protege of Einstein's, and quantum physicist Karl Pribram, believed that the universe itself is probably a massive hologram, partially manifested by the mind. This perception shift would explain many of the mysteries of physics, including telepathy, out-of-body and near-death experiences, lucid dreams, and the mystical experiences of collective oneness and miraculous healings. This one will blow your mind if you've never looked deeper into the holographic universe theory. The 5th one is a great little book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple Ways to Keep the Little Things from Taking Over Your Life by Richard Carlson. We sometimes get overwhelmed with situations that we find ourselves in and have difficulty finding our center and staying at ease. This book can help you shift your perspective and see that life is made of little moments, and that if you simplify your outlook on things, then things become more manageable to deal with. This is a really insightful and easy to read book that you'll want to keep out at all times, and it's a great book to open up anytime you're feeling overwhelmed with life. The 6th book is The Secret Teachings of Plants, The Intelligence of the Heart in the Direct Perception of Nature by Stephen Bunner. Plants contain a wealth of knowledge and are conscious themselves, and humans have been learning their wisdom since time immemorial. Even today, the teachings continue, with biophilic design becoming the cutting edge of architectural design, and more people than ever looking into plant medicine to do internal healing on themselves. And this book explores the techniques used by people in the past and within the present to get direction from plants. My favorite parts of this book is the deep exploration as to how the heart is an organ of perception. Heart-centered perception can be exceptionally accurate and detailed if developed, and I believe it's one of the most important abilities to nurture and develop in this day and age. So this book can teach you all of this, and I highly recommend it. The seventh book is I Am That by Nisargadatta Maharaj. As far as high vibrational self-realization teachings go, this one just may take the cake. Shri Nisargadatta Maharaj was a teacher who did not promote any specific ideology, but instead unmasked the mystery of what the true self is. Maharaj cuts out all the non-essential fluff that sometimes comes with spiritual teachings and just confuses people. This book is styled in a form of dialogues he had with people who came from all over the world with the intention to strip away all the layers that had built up around their true I and its timelessness. There have been very few books that have really taken me deep into the understanding of what the self-realized self is. And this book is the one that I always think of when I think of what can show me the most about the nature of the true self. That self beyond the ego, that false illusory persona that we attach to ourselves as being who we truly are. So highly recommend it. Go out there and get yourself a copy of this one. The eighth book is The Emotion Code by Bradley Nelson. Did you know that emotionally charged events from your past can become trapped in your body? Oh yeah, it's true. Dr. Nelson explains how trapped emotions can create physical pain and even serious diseases. These trapped emotions can even influence the way you think, including what choices you make in life. Trapped emotions most often congregate around the heart, and by using well-explained methods that apply kinesiology and neodymium magnets, you will be able to release trapped emotions very easily and watch nearly instantly issues that you may have had for decades just disappear. These can include physical ailments, self-sabotage, as well as recurring relationship problems. This is a very helpful book for self-healing, and if you've ever had issues that they seem psychosomatic or that you have pain for years and you're not sure where it's coming from, you may have a trapped emotion. And this book will definitely help in getting rid of them. Highly recommend it for that. The ninth book is The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Now this is a classic text written nearly 2,500 years ago, and it's all about the nature of the Tao, the way. In it is ancient wisdom about how to live a life of goodness and integrity. It also shows us how we can have a shift in our perception of reality if we are in a state of pure awareness. Putting a label and a name to every aspect of everything, which is something that's especially appealing to the Western mind, reduces our reality tunnel to a very limited perspective on things. So this book is all about self-awareness, and it helps us perceive a wider horizon of awareness. So it's anyone who wants to live in a virtuous life should read this book. The 10th book is Energy Work: The Secrets of Healing and Spiritual Growth by Robert Bruce. Understanding and feeling into our subtle energy systems opens us up to being able to heal ourselves, among many other things. And in this book, you will be able to find an easy-to-follow guide to specific techniques such as tactile imaging, which I use often in my personal work and workshops that I teach. And it'll turn you on to feeling subtle energy very strongly, so strongly in fact that you'll be able to feel where there are weaknesses in your field as well as imbalances. If you think you need to visualize for doing energy work, then you are mistaken. There's no need for visualization in order to stimulate the movement of vital energy, which some people have difficulty doing anyway. So for all those people out there who have difficulty with visualization, know that you don't really need to do that. You can just feel it. Just feel the energy. If you want to strengthen your immune system, learn how to practice self-healing, develop more intimate relationships, and increase your psychic and spiritual abilities, then this book is a must-read. The 11th and final book in this list is The Zen Teaching of Huang Po on the Transmission of Mind. So this is the Dharma of mind transmission, and perhaps the most insightful book by the most insightful sage of the Zen tradition. The insights in this book go so incredibly deep that sometimes you will find yourself needing to meditate on a sentence for a really long time and really feel into the richness and depth of what is being streamed into your consciousness, using the limited lingual syntax we humans use to communicate thought forms. There are truths about reality that are so abstract that it's difficult to compress them down into an understandable format using language, but Huang Po did as impeccable job as is possible. If you want to go beyond your perception of the senses into the realm of the absolute, then this book will take you there. So that's my list of 11 books that will just shift and expand your consciousness and may just change your entire life. If you have any of your favorites that you want to recommend, feel free to add them down below in the comments. And let's all keep on shifting.